Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to another pointless video on this beautiful channel that we created together. Today is the 23 May 2025. It is rainy and it's shitty outside. As you can tell, we're doing much better. Right? We just finished watching Coraline, which was, excuse me, but delicious. Speaking of delicious, yes, I've used Coraline, and I use the term delicious as a segue of this video, right? You'll forgive me for using Coraline, a beloved classic. Let me take a bite out of my delicious pepperoni. Pepperoni cock. I've been watching Shepherd Boys. I'm thinking about it, right? Mmm. 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 Hell yeah. You guys know that I've been going through depression, right? And I made a video because I was still tasting food, and I was like, for some reason, I'm not enjoying tasting food. I'm not enjoying the food I'm tasting. Is it because, and I felt like I was being very critical of the food I was eating. And I felt like I didn't give a fair chance to the company that was tasting. I was tasting energy drinks, I was tasting a bunch of stuff, but I wasn't being fair to them. Now, in one way, what is being fair to them would be to be in a perfect state of mind, to be completely biased and being like, you know what, I have a craving for this, let's taste it. But with depression, I didn't have this energy or this desire to eat food. I was just eating to eat, right? Now, what ended up happening is lately we've been eating food and it's been tasting amazing. And it's weird because it started 2 days ago. We tasted a energy drinks and I was like, holy shit, this is so good. We tasted this and this was so good. And then I was like, holy shit, I'm finally doing better. Mentally speaking, it's treacherous. Your brain will tell you that you're doing better when you're not, you know? So what I tried to do was like, why am I liking food right now? Am I doing better? And I went to depression symptoms. One of the depression symptoms was a lot of appetite. So right now we're ravenous beasts, and we're just eating and eating and eating. But I'm enjoying food again. That's a great news. Me being hungry, me being excited about food again. It's good because food is a comfort for me. Always have been. So, that being said, why are we making this video? Because the video was like, hey, good news, appetite again. It would be a cool video to do. But we're going deeper than that. I find it fascinating that your mental state affects your ability to enjoy food. Something that is as important as food. You're talking to a fat guy. Yes, food is important, and I cannot focus on thinking but food. But in general, food is fuel for the body. It's calories. Is something that you need to survive. If you don't eat, you'll die, right? So something that with depression, and to me, it's so impressive that I don't feel good, so this is affecting my entire being. What if you not wanting to eat was a way of self-destruction? What if you're seeing older people that have less appetite? You're seeing dying animal have less appetite. What is your body way of kind of telling you, I don't want to talk about it, but like not necessarily offing yourself, but kind of like a self-harm in itself, right? To me, the simple concept of the whole thing is phenomenal. I'm in a good mood, I'm gonna enjoy food. I'm in a bad mood, I won't enjoy food. To me, food is material, right? I'm in a bad mood, I'm not gonna be less enjoying a movie. I'll be like, okay, well, the movie is done, I'm done. But the movie is the movie, right? So something that is as crucial as food, to me, it's so nuts. But at the same time, this is how powerful depression is. And this is a picture perfect of what we're feeling. See, one of my main focus right now, one of my main goals is to make content after content. And when I ate about eating meat, I get it stuck a lot. But in general, is like, holy shit, this is how little I was enjoying life. This is how little. And imagine your comfort is food and able to enjoy it. Where's your comfort, right? And to me, this is a disastrous news, right? We're in a good way, but I never had a depression that went as far as affecting my appetite. I never had a depression that went as far as affecting my capacity to enjoy food. And to me, this is completely nuts. This is a physical aspect of a mental situation. Physical response to emotional dilemma. It is insane. I think the human body is amazing, but we don't understand it. And I think that this is important. Or at the same time, if I was in a better mood, then I would enjoy food more, and I would use food as a medic self medication, right? I would to cope with your pain or your sadness. Or even then, maybe it's just your brain telling you, hey, that's what you're trying to do. I know that you're trying to eat to heal yourself, but this is not the way. Solve your problem, right? So I know this is pushed, but yeah, it's like the same response as, or then it could be even a response. I can add a response of fire. So when you're a kid, right, and you see fire and you touch it, you burn yourself, right? And then it hurts. It hurts you. So then, when it comes to touching fire, with a position of holy shit, I don't want to touch fire because I'm going to hurt myself. So your body will send this stress signal saying you're getting close to pain, you're getting close to pain, you're getting close to pain. What if food, which was a way to self-destruct and gain weight, but one of the symptoms of obesity is also depression, right? So it's not a symptom of obesity isn't depression. A symptom of obesity is a harder time managing your emotion, which can be really positive or really negative, right? And yeah, it sucks when you have a breakup. What do? You eat. When you lose a friendship or you're sad, you eat, right? It's such an important part. It's such an important part. I go to the movies. I'm eating popcorn. I'm eating a drink, and when I'm not eating popcorn, it's like, why there's no popcorn, right? To me, this is nuts. And if depression is affecting you that much, what is the? Yes, we had depression. Yes, we had problem eating. Yes, we had a problem with appetite. What is the next step, right? And if it wasn't my first depression, I'm like, oh, this is normal. But it's my third depression, and this never happened before. So what changed in this case? Is it because I'm getting older? My hormones are not what they used to be. I already have less libido because of depression. My libido is in the toilet. So the fact that the food, and it's kind of crazy because it's gonna be too much information, but I don't care. If you think about a 22 years old ink who was depressed, indication was food and porn, right? Now, because of that, I have less libido. I'm also older, so young ink. This is way too much information. Holy shit! I want to be a pig. Young ink didn't give a fuck. Young ink would go feed the turkey 7, 8 times a day. Now I'm gonna do 4 times a day. I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I need some water. I need some protein bars. I need to take care of my body, bro. I need to hydrate. I'm an athlete, right? And I don't think that's not normal. I think it's normal to have less libido as you age. I think it's completely normal. However, your physical response to that is already diminished. Already diminished. You get more tired. You have more body aches. Your muscle get tired more easily. You get tired more easily. You have less fuel in tank, right? Your mental capacity start to go to get lower as an adult, and the way it works is completely insane. As an adult, I used to give shit to my father and my mom because they were like, dude, they were like, I don't need to listen to a new song. The song that I have, I love. And I was like, you're never gonna discover life if you stay in that center or in that circle of the music that you like, right? And I thought about it, and it was kind of like, oh, they're not open-minded, and they're missing out because they're not giving people a chance. But what if? And I'm trying to be nice. What if the mental capacity? What if the patience? What if the as a kid you're eager to learn. As an adult, you're like, well, if I don't learn it, fuck it. And if I do learn it, hell yeah, you know. Boom, baby, 35, baby, healthy, yeah. We're doing a lot. Okay. three tournaments. I mean, it's insane. What if their lack of open mindedness towards new stuff was because they weren't as eager to learn. Um, but also mentally speaking, it's kind of smart because uh, let's take me as an example, right? I'm at 32 years old. There's a point where I'm like, fuck, if I don't learn it, then I'm never gonna learn it. I have to have some idea of life, right? And then certain songs, certain movies, certain books have this emotional attachment, right? But at 32 years old, I have to be in a measure of saying I actually learned something about life, right? My understanding of life is X. It's through my experiences and shit like that. Or if somebody live in a vault, talking about Fallout, and they've been told that the sky has always been green, and they come out of blue and it's like this is weird. It was supposed to be green, right? So their belief will stop them from learning something new. With the libido and the food being in previously speaking, maybe that's why the depression was bad. Maybe because we had it twice before, and it's two times before we're linked to overeating and overstimulation, sexual stimulation. Maybe because the appetite and the libido was lower, those escape routes were no longer present, and because those escape routes was no longer present, it was a problem. See, the problem with depression is my very first one. I didn't take tools. I didn't have to take antidepressants. I healed natural in a natural fashion, right? It took me years to heal, but it was a natural fashion. The second only took me a couple of months to heal. Only took me a couple of months. It took me 6, maybe 8 weeks, and I was good. I was really good. But then this one has been lasting since October, and now we are in May. We're at the end of May, almost at the end of May, and I'm like, dude, I'm still getting some remnants of it, right? What is going on? And for the first time, I think those coping mechanisms aren't working, right? Aren't working. And then, as an ADHD, but also as a person with culture, I'm thinking about the three little pig, the three pigs who built a house. There's a wolf. He wants to eat the pig. They all built a house. So the first one's like, yo, the pig is coming. I don't have time. He builds a hay house. Hay. And what did the gay horse say? Hay. Can you respect? And the wolf blew it down, right? The second one, like, holy shit, it didn't really work. So he builds a wood house. So the wolf, all he had to do was push the house because it wasn't built properly. Now the third pig had a brick house, right? In the brick house, the three pigs are going in the brick house and they're safe. So the lesson of this is don't be lazy, create a plan, and then you might survive the wolf, right? But what if the only thing that you had energy to do was a hay house? What if the only thing that, because you couldn't focus, because your brain was so foggy, the only thing you could think about was build this peculiar, very, very peculiar wood house, right? What would it do? What would it do? We did our best this time. For the shield, we did our best. 437, we're at position number 3. But it's too early. It's way too early. I might end up at 10 or 12. I don't know. But to me, this is insane. And again, with the libido, so, okay, we'll put it like that, right? This is again too much information. I'm sorry. But so, lately, not lately, but I've been feeling lonely for a while, right? In October, so okay, let's put it like that, right? This is actually super simple and super precise to understand. It's super easy. October, I'm overworking. I do depression. I push everybody away. I don't have any friends left and the people that I have left, treat them like shit because I was so obsessed with making content. I felt lonely. I was like, okay, well, I need new friends. But then a new girlfriend would happen. So I went on social media. I went on dating website. It didn't work. Kind of gave up on it, right? And then I met my ex out of the blue, right? Out of the blue. And she came on and we did it for a couple of months. It went super well, right? And then it didn't work anymore. But even then, if I'm being completely honest, it was a lack of libido. So my ex, and I don't mean to say she's ugly, but she wasn't the type of girl that I would go out with. And at the same time, she was the one that instigated the relationship more than I did. She was like, okay, well, we're dating. And I'm like, okay, no problem. I like you. You like me. That's cool. Didn't love her. And I didn't have libido. I thought it was physical, but I didn't have libido. So when she left, I started having girls on my TikTok. Two in particular. But two of them were extremely distant. And I'm like, dude, I'm horny right now. Let's fucking go, right? But I couldn't force them. So what I ended up doing is I went on a website called FetLife. FetLife, which is a kink website, a fetish website. Fetish and kink. And then I met some people, right? And of course, I met a person that was younger. She was 24, I'm 22. And she had a very high libido, but a very, very high libido. And I wasn't able to keep up. A lot of fucking info, right? Wait a second. Ooh, you have a new ads. What is that? Tracy Y'all Top Hero. Okay. Yum. So we have like a libido. So the first thing I said was, hey, you're too not I didn't tell her you're too much for me, but I'm like, listen, I don't have the same libido that you have, right? So, and at some point, and again, this is too much information, I'm sorry, but I was stimulating her. I was very stimulating her in a sense of, well, I cannot satisfy you because I'm older and I got less libido. So I'm still gonna make sure that you're satisfied, but I'm not gonna partake in it, right? A more distant role. And then it worked, but then depression crept in, and I was like, dude, I don't have libido at all. I don't have libido at all, right? I don't have libido at all because I got depression. I used that as an excuse, right? The reality was that I was forcing myself to be sexual with that person because they were very demanding to what I could offer. Offer and demands kind of shit. I don't have any. I don't have any offers. So please, the man, I cannot give you shit. So it kind of turned me off sex a little bit, right? And then I met this other person, and they were more my age. I met this girl. She was 31. I think she turned 21 when we were together. I'm not sure. It's been a while. It hasn't been a while. It's been 3 weeks. Fuck. And she turned 21. And she had more like a same. The girlfriend that I have in general, she wasn't my type. Like, okay, well, this is why I didn't have libido. The girl, the second girl was younger, so I didn't have libido as much as she did. The third one, she was my type, she was my age, she had a similar libido that I did. Why the fuck am I not able to be more sexual with her? And depression was the reason. Depression was the reason, but also, something really weird happened. Something really, really weird happened. And this is way too much information. And if you're minor, please close the video. This is way too much for you. During depression, what ended up happening was, and this is so embarrassing to talk about, but fuck it. My orgasm were a lot less. So usually for a dude, most cases, you'll have an orgasm and the dude is tired. Physical reaction, there's a release of muscle. So basically what happened is, you'll get blood into your member, and the muscle will contract, so the blood stay there, and that's what makes you, and I would have a very diminished orgasm, and for some reason I was able to have a second orgasm. I was able to continue. So I would have less libido, but when I would have libido, I would do it over and over and over again, which never happened before. And the way libido worked, I was like, well, it's weird, but I don't know what's wrong with me. Now, there's always this age thing that has to do with it. We recently reached 32 years old, but even last year, I was being less sexual because I was working so much. I would do it once a day, and I was like, dude, you're doing this to get to sleep, right? I was so focused with work that I didn't have libido. But long story short, I had a lot less. And I thought it was age. I thought it was maybe my partner's. It was weird. And then with food, the appetite, that was something new. That never happened before. I was such a sad piece of shit. When I was 22. When I had my biggest depression at 22, I would... And then I would cry. Not because because I just had such a meaningful experience. Because I had such a meaningful experience, and because we reached such a ecstasy. So for a second, for a minute, for a minute, I was gonna say hour, but a couple minutes, I forgot all my problems, right? And then post nut syndrome, which is after your elation, your adrenaline or your endorphin level goes down, you'll have like, holy fuck, what did I do, right? So yeah, and then we would start crying because I was like, holy shit, my life is so shitty, right? My life is so shitty. Um, and yeah, we always have this relationship though with corn, um, because we have low self esteem. Because we have low self esteem, we don't date, and because we don't date, we have needs that we take care of. But for even at a young age, food was not an issue. So when it became an issue, I was like, what the fuck is going on with me? This isn't normal, and this is possibly normal for another person. But again, it's something that I've had before. I've been through here before. It's why the symptom are different, right? It's not normal. See, I'm gonna say something that's very outrageous. A person with Tourette syndrome. The most amazing thing with Tourette syndrome is they're not able to control themselves. They'll say things that are outrageous. They'll do movement like fingers that are outrageous. They won't be able to control themselves. However, there's this very special case of the tick that they have. It's often, more than not often, similar. So you're able to recognize the tick. So for example, I've been dating this girl with Tourette's. She has the ticks. I know what triggers it, and I know how long it lasts. But it will always be the same thing. So I don't know why food was a problem, but to me, the fact that this depression was affecting us more than it is, and then in one way I'm like, is this depression was worse than the others, or was my ability to overcompensate for what it is different? You know, you know. At the same time, the weirdest thing is, I've been so much more vocal about the depression than the others. So because I was able to repress that feeling younger, was I better off, or are we, or another possibility is we're healing faster because we're going through step by step, right? Like imagine you have this shrink therapy, and the shrink therapy lasts an hour. Then at the end of the hour, you start crying. Like, wow, doctor, I really feel light. I say loose. I really feel light. I feel like a new person, right? And that's a great thing. That is a phenomenal thing, but it doesn't mean anything. Oh fuck, we're in the same branch. I don't know, it's 45 and 484. I mean, I don't like being in the same branch because I'm finding myself in a tournament. Fuck, that's not good. But it's okay. As long as we did the tournament, because tournament we had 46 seconds left to register. As long as we're doing this now, we only have to do this one and that's it. And I'm at 18% batteries. Oh, how much? 18, okay, good. So yeah, so a little food for thought. I know we went into so much details. I hope you'll forgive me for the disgustingness of my different speech. But guess what? This is life, and if you're not happy, well, I hope that you feel it someday. Because then you'll have a better understanding of people. Was that mean? I'm sorry. I am sorry. Have some salami as a reward.